There are moments in life when everything feels ordinary. The sun rises, the clouds move, the night falls, and we barely notice. But then, there comes a moment when the sky itself refuses to be ignored. It shows you something that feels too precise to be random, too loud to be accidental. That's the moment. I want you to remember this. Signs are never sent to decorate your life. They're sent to direct your life. The universe, God, destiny, whatever name you give it, doesn't waste energy on meaningless patterns. If you see something in the sky that stirs your soul, it's not a coincidence, it's a confirmation. Most people dismiss signs because they're afraid. Afraid that acknowledging them would mean they have to change. Afraid that it might call them out of comfort into courage. But the truth is this: the danger is not in missing the sign. The danger is in seeing it and doing nothing. That sign in the sky is not about fear, it's about focus. It's a reminder that your life isn't random, that your choices matter, that your future is still being written, and you are the one holding the pen. When you see that sign, don't just look up, look within. Ask yourself, what am I ignoring that I know I need to face? What step have I been delaying because I'm waiting for certainty? What calling have I silenced because comfort felt safer? Remember, the extraordinary hides in plain sight. The sky doesn't change so that the world notices. It changes so you notice. So when that sign appears, don't wait for tomorrow, respond today, step out of your hesitation. Step into your courage, because when the sky speaks, it's not predicting your future. It's inviting you to create it. So the next time you look up and see something that makes your heart pause, don't dismiss it. Don't scroll past it in your mind like another cloud. Remember this moment, remember this video, because that sign in the sky isn't there to scare you. It's there to prepare you, and if you respond, it won't just change what you see in the sky. It will change everything you see in yourself. Prophecy is not given to entertain curiosity, but to awaken urgency. It is not a puzzle for us to play with, nor is it a story to satisfy our imagination. Prophecy is a divine alarm clock that shakes us from the illusion that life will always continue the way it is. It is meant to stir the soul, to bring a holy seriousness to our choices, and to remind us that time is not an endless resource. When prophecy comes, it does not come to satisfy questions, it comes to demand answers. It is the voice of God breaking into the noise of our world, calling us to pay attention before the moment slips away. The universe always whispers before it roars. Signs are warnings, not decorations. Too many people treat prophecy as a fascinating riddle, something to debate and discuss endlessly. They become spectators instead of participants, watching the unfolding of signs like their entertainment. But prophecy is not for spectators. It is for soldiers, for servants, for those who will hear the trumpet and prepare themselves for the battle ahead. The whispers of prophecy are gentle nudges, guiding us to correct our path before the storm breaks loose. When we ignore them, we invite the roar, and by then, the time to prepare has already passed. Every prophecy carries weight, not because it is mysterious, but because it is urgent. It calls us to wake up, to live with a sharper awareness, to remove distractions, and to focus on what truly matters. The sky, the earth, the shifting of nations, the trembling of culture, none of it is random. These are signs aligning, not to decorate the story of history, but to accelerate it. They remind us that destiny is moving quickly, and we cannot afford to stand still. Curiosity asks, when will it happen? But urgency asks, am I ready when it does? Prophecy strips away the false security of tomorrow. It presses us to act today. It is not there to make us clever about dates or theories, but to make us courageous in our obedience. It whispers through Scripture, through history, through the very sky above us, urging us not to treat life casually, but to step into it intentionally. The point is never speculation, it is transformation. The whispers are warnings. They are gentle mercies, giving us time to prepare. They remind us that behind every sign there is purpose, and behind every purpose there is a call to rise from comfort into conviction. Not every moment is ordinary, some moments demand attention. Life has a way of blending days together, making it feel as if one sunrise is just like the last, one nightfall no different than the one before. But hidden within the flow of ordinary time are moments that stand apart, moments that refuse to be ignored. These are not accidents, they are appointments. They come unannounced, but they arrive with a weight that makes your spirit pause. They shake you awake and remind you that life is not just about existing, it is about discerning. There are times when you can go through your routine without noticing much, but then something happens, a word, a sign, a shift in the atmosphere, and suddenly you realize you are standing on holy ground. These are the moments when life is speaking to you, when the universe is whispering louder than usual, when destiny is tugging at your soul. Ordinary seconds tick away without demand, but extraordinary moments press themselves into your heart with urgency. They are signals that something bigger is unfolding, and you are being invited to take part in it. The tragedy is that many people treat extraordinary moments as if they were common. They ignore the tug, silence the stirring, and walk past the very sign that was meant to redirect their future. They confuse routine with permanence, forgetting that sometimes in the middle of routine, destiny interrupts. Not every day is meant to be lived casually. Some days demand decisions, some hours require courage. Some moments come as divine intersections where your choice can either align you with purpose or distract you into delay. When those moments arrive, the worst mistake you can make is to dismiss them. Pay attention, lean in, ask yourself what this moment is calling you toward. Is it a change of direction, a reminder to prepare, a warning not to wait? Ordinary moments may fill your calendar, but defining moments shape your eternity. And when they appear, they are not asking you to observe, they are asking you to respond. What you see in the sky is not just physical, it's deeply personal. The heavens are more than clouds and stars, more than the dance of the sun and the moon. They are mirrors reflecting truths that often go unnoticed within us. When you lift your eyes and see something unusual, something that stirs your heart, it is not just a scientific occurrence. It is a personal invitation. The sky has a way of speaking to the soul, reminding you that life is not random, that your story is woven into something far greater than what your eyes can measure. The vastness of the sky humbles us, yet it also awakens us. It stretches beyond what we can grasp, reminding us of how small we are, but at the same time it whispers of how significant we are. A shooting star is not just a streak of light, it is a spark that ignites reflection. A blood moon is not just a celestial event, it is a sign that carries weight and urgency. The clouds shifting into shapes, the sun breaking through the storm, the night glowing brighter than usual, all of these moments carry messages that are meant to pierce through the noise of everyday life. What you see above you often mirrors what is stirring inside you. The stillness of the sky may reflect the peace you've been longing for. The storm rolling in may echo the unrest you've been ignoring. The rare signs, an eclipse, a blazing comet, a radiant alignment, can serve as confirmations that the seasons of your life are changing too. It is deeply personal because it is meant to awaken you, to call you to pay attention, to remind you that the physical world often reveals spiritual realities. Many dismiss these moments as nothing more than natural phenomena, but those who are awake understand that signs are not decorations, they are directions. The sky is a canvas painted with reminders that time is moving, destiny is unfolding, and choices cannot be delayed forever. To look up and see something extraordinary is not to be entertained. It is to be invited into reflection and readiness. When the heavens declare their message, it is not to inform the world in general. It is to speak directly to you, to your heart, to your journey, and to your calling. A sign becomes meaningless if you choose to ignore it. A message, no matter how clear, carries no power if the receiver refuses to listen. The same is true of signs, whether they appear in the sky, in your circumstances, or deep within your spirit. They are not given to amuse or to impress you, they are given to guide you. But guidance ignored is no guidance at all. A warning dismissed does not protect you from danger, it only ensures that you will walk blindly into it. Too often people crave signs but fail to act when they receive them. They pray for direction, yet when it comes, they hesitate, question, or rationalize it away. A sign without a response is nothing more than a picture on the wall, visible but powerless. Its purpose is wasted the moment you decide it requires no change, no shift, no decision. In reality, the value of a sign is not in its beauty or mystery. The value is in what it moves you to do. Think about this. If a storm siren sounds in your city, and you simply admire the noise without seeking shelter, what good has the warning done? If a traffic sign flashes stop, and you admire its color but keep driving, the outcome will not change in your favor. Signs are meant to alter your direction, sharpen your focus, and awaken your urgency. When ignored, they lose their meaning, not because they were wrong, but because you refuse to respond. The greatest danger is not that a sign will fail to appear, but that it will appear and you will treat it as ordinary. Every sign carries a responsibility. It asks for your attention, it demands your awareness, and it calls for your obedience. Ignoring it does not erase its truth, it only erases your opportunity. A sign unheeded is a message unheard, and a message unheard cannot protect, prepare, or propel you forward. What you do with the sign determines whether it was simply a moment in the sky or a turning point in your life. The extraordinary hides in plain sight, waiting for someone awake enough to notice. Life often disguises greatness in ordinary wrapping. The most powerful truths rarely arrive with fanfare or noise. They come quietly, hidden in the rhythm of everyday moments. A sunrise may look like just another beginning, yet within it is a reminder that mercy has been renewed. A stranger's kindness may seem small, yet it carries the power to shift the course of a weary heart. The extraordinary does not always shout. More often it whispers, waiting for eyes willing to see and hearts ready to receive. The danger is not that the extraordinary is absent, it is that we are too distracted to notice it. Most people live life half asleep, moving through their days on autopilot, convinced that nothing remarkable is happening around them. They wait for miracles packaged in lightning and thunder while ignoring the ones that arrive in silence. But those who are awake understand that the extraordinary is not rare. It is constant, hiding within the so-called ordinary. They see meaning in a timely word, direction in a subtle sign, and purpose in what others dismiss as coincidence. The extraordinary is not reserved for the chosen few. It is available to all. But only the awake, the alert, the discerning will recognize it. It takes courage to pause, to pay attention, to believe that what looks ordinary may actually be divine. It takes humility to admit that life is always speaking, and wisdom to realize that silence does not mean absence. The extraordinary hides in plain sight, not to stay hidden forever, but to reveal itself only to those who are hungry enough to look deeper. When you begin to notice it, your entire perspective shifts. The world is no longer random, it becomes purposeful. Your days are no longer empty, they are filled with messages, and the sky above you, the ground beneath you, the very moments within your reach, they all become reminders that what looks natural often carries the supernatural. The extraordinary is all around you, waiting for you to awaken and see what has been there all along. Don't wait for certainty, respond to the nudge before it becomes a shove. Life rarely hands us perfect clarity wrapped in neat explanations. More often it begins with a whisper, a gentle pull in the heart, a quiet stirring that tells us to move, to act, to prepare. Waiting for absolute certainty feels safe, but in reality it often becomes the excuse that keeps us stuck. The truth is, certainty almost never comes before obedience. You step first, and the clarity arrives later. Think about how many opportunities are lost because someone said, "I'm not sure yet." How many warnings have been ignored because someone wanted more evidence, more signs, more confirmation. The nudge was enough, but they delayed until life had no choice but to shove them forward through crisis, loss, or sudden change. The gentle direction turned into a painful disruption because they would not respond when it was still soft. Ignoring the whisper never erases it. It only makes it louder and harder. Every nudge is a gift. It is mercy speaking before urgency takes over. It is the chance to change direction before you collide with consequences. When you sense that inner pull, whether it's to leave behind something unhealthy, to start the thing you've been putting off, or to prepare for what's ahead, that is not random, it's guidance. And guidance doesn't always come wrapped in certainty. It often comes disguised as a quiet impression, a subtle unease, or a recurring thought you can't shake. Responding to the nudge is not about reckless action. It's about trusting that hesitation carries a higher cost than obedience. The shove will come if you ignore it, because life cannot allow you to drift forever. But why wait for the storm to force you into change when the breeze has already pointed the way? The sooner you listen, the smoother the journey. The sooner you respond, the less painful the process. The nudge is a chance for preparation. The shove is a demand for survival. Which one you experience depends on how soon you choose to act. Most people dismiss signs because they don't want their comfort disrupted. The truth is, recognizing a sign often demands change, and change feels uncomfortable. It calls us to step away from the familiar, to question habits we've grown attached to, and to confront truths we would rather ignore. It's far easier to label a sign as coincidence than to admit it requires a response. Denial becomes a shield that protects our comfort, but it also blinds us from the very guidance that could save us. People love the idea of signs until they realize what they imply. A sign is never neutral. It either warns you to stop, directs you to turn, or pushes you to move forward. Each of those demands action, and action interrupts ease. To notice a sign is to take responsibility. It means you can no longer say, "I didn't know." It means you must decide whether to obey or to resist. That weight is why so many dismiss what they see, pretending it means nothing, so they can remain undisturbed in their routines. But comfort is deceptive. It lulls us into thinking we're safe, while quietly pulling us further from growth, purpose, and readiness. A person who ignores signs because they fear discomfort is like a driver ignoring a red light because stopping feels inconvenient. Sooner or later, the cost of dismissal is greater than the cost of disruption. Signs are never given to flatter us, they are given to prepare us. What many don't realize is that the very disruption they fear is the doorway to transformation. A sign doesn't come to destroy your comfort for no reason. It comes to shift you into alignment with something bigger. It comes to break the illusion that comfort is the goal. The goal is not to stay safe in what's familiar, but to be ready for what's unfolding. Ignoring signs delays pain, but it cannot erase it. Facing them, however, may feel uncomfortable for a moment, but it unlocks strength, clarity, and protection that comfort could never provide. Every sign comes with a responsibility. What you do next defines your future. A sign is not just information, it is an invitation to act. It doesn't simply tell you something is coming, it asks, what will you do about it? Signs carry weight because they shift accountability onto you. Once you've seen them, you cannot pretend you didn't know. They become turning points where your choices matter more than ever, and the path you take in response determines the direction of your life. Some see signs as fascinating but treat them like decoration, admiring their mystery without changing anything in their lives. But that is like hearing a fire alarm and complimenting how clear the sound is without ever leaving the building. The alarm is not there to entertain, it's there to protect. The same is true of signs. They are not random occurrences meant to spark curiosity. They are intentional signals designed to move you toward readiness, alignment, and wisdom. Responsibility is the bridge between seeing and becoming. When you respond to a sign, you shift from being a passive observer to an active participant in your own destiny. The future is not shaped by what you notice, it is shaped by how you react. Ignoring a warning sign leads to regret. Acting on it leads to growth, safety, and preparation for what's ahead. Every sign you receive is a crossroads where one path leads to delay and loss, while the other leads to clarity and strength. This is why signs should never be taken lightly. To see one is a gift, but to act on it is a responsibility. They are proof that life or God Himself has given you a chance to adjust before it's too late. Your response reveals your character, whether you value comfort over calling, hesitation over obedience, or courage over fear. In the end, it's not the sign itself that changes your future, it's the decision you make after you see it. The greatest danger is not in missing the sign, but in seeing it and doing nothing. To miss a sign is often the result of distraction, ignorance, or blindness, but to see it clearly and still ignore it is a choice. That choice carries weight because awareness always brings responsibility. When your eyes are opened, you can no longer claim innocence. The message has reached you, the warning has sounded, and the opportunity has been placed in your hands. To turn away at that point is not just neglect. It is rebellion against what you already know to be true. Seeing a sign but refusing to respond is like hearing the doctor's diagnosis, yet continuing with the same destructive habits. It is like a driver watching the traffic light turn red, but pressing the accelerator anyway. In both cases, the consequences are not lessened by awareness, they are intensified. Knowledge without action does not protect, it condemns. A sign is not there to decorate your journey, but to direct it, and when you disregard it, you choose to walk knowingly into danger. The subtle tragedy is that many people live this way. They see the signs in their relationships, their health, their spiritual walk, their circumstances. They sense the warnings, the nudges, the whispers, but they quiet them because change feels inconvenient. They tell themselves there is more time. They pretend that delay is harmless, but every delay strengthens the hold of apathy, and apathy always leads to regret. The purpose of a sign is to give you time to act before it's too late. To see one and do nothing is to waste a gift of mercy. The sign was not the end, it was the chance to change before the end came. The danger of ignoring it is not just missing the message, it's forfeiting the chance to step into safety, growth, or destiny. The sign itself cannot save you, only your response can. And when you see it yet remain unmoved, you're not just walking into consequences, you're running toward them with your eyes wide open. A sign in the sky is an invitation, not a conclusion. Too many people treat signs as final statements, as if the moment they appear, the story is already over. But a sign is not the end, it is the beginning of awareness. It is a signal that something is unfolding, a call to prepare, a reminder that what you do next still matters. Signs don't close the door, they open it. They don't announce that everything is finished. They invite you to step into readiness, alignment, and purpose before the next chapter arrives. When you look up and see something that shakes you, a rare alignment, a sudden shift, a display that feels more like a message than a coincidence, it isn't meant to make you freeze in fear. It is meant to awaken you. Fear convinces you the sign means it's too late, but wisdom reminds you the sign means you've been given notice. That's not a conclusion, it's grace. It is time being extended, a chance to get your house in order, to check your priorities, to realign your heart with what truly matters. Think of it like a road sign. When you see one that says sharp turn ahead, it doesn't mean you've already crashed. It means you've been warned in advance so you can respond wisely. The same is true of signs in the sky. They don't seal your fate. They signal that fate is moving and that you still have a role in how you walk into it. Every sign in the heavens is a reminder that life is not random. The sky doesn't paint pictures for entertainment. It speaks to awaken urgency. But the message is not, it's over. The message is, pay attention, prepare, align. To see a sign in the sky is to be given an invitation, to live more awake, to walk with more intention, and to respond before the roar follows the whisper. It is mercy disguised as wonder, not a conclusion disguised as spectacle. It is the hand of God stretching out, not to close the story, but to call you into it. Life doesn't give random symbols, it gives aligned reminders. Every detail, every moment, every shift that captures your attention carries meaning. Nothing is wasted. What appears to be chance is often precision disguised. The universe, or God himself, doesn't scatter signs like confetti without purpose. They are strategically placed to nudge you, warn you, guide you, or confirm the path you're meant to walk. What looks like coincidence to the distracted is often confirmation to the discerning. The reason symbols appear is not to entertain, but to align. They show up at the right time because you need them at that time. Think about it, a word you overhear that feels directed at your situation, a door that closes just when you were about to step through it, a vision in the sky that stirs something deep in your spirit. These aren't random accidents. They are reminders strategically aligned with the season you are in, pointing you toward the steps you must take. The danger is in dismissing them as random. To shrug off what has been divinely arranged is to miss the guidance you were meant to receive. People often say, "That was strange," or "What a coincidence," when in truth it was not strange at all, it was designed. The alignment of reminders is part of a greater mercy, to keep you awake, aware, and attentive so you don't drift aimlessly. These reminders call you back to the center when you've wandered too far, or they affirm you when doubt tries to shake you. They are not random symbols thrown into your path for curiosity. They are intentional markers, reminding you that your life is seen, your journey is guided, and your choices matter. The symbols you encounter are not accidents of timing. They are perfectly aligned reminders that you are not alone, that you are being directed, and that every step has purpose. What you call coincidence, life calls confirmation. Too often, people dismiss powerful moments as luck, chance, or random alignment. They explain away what was actually designed to get their attention, but life doesn't waste energy on accidents. The very thing you're tempted to call coincidence may, in fact, be the confirmation you prayed for, the reassurance you needed, or the warning you asked to see. Think about the times something happened at the exact moment you needed it. A word spoken when your heart was breaking, a door opening when you thought all options were gone, a message crossing your path just when you were about to quit. Those aren't accidents. They are confirmations that you're not forgotten, that there is a hand orchestrating details far beyond what you can see. Life often answers our questions not with explanations, but with perfectly timed reminders that say, you're on the right path. Keep going. The problem is not that confirmations are missing, it's that we don't always recognize them. Our minds look for the spectacular, but confirmations often come wrapped in the ordinary. They slip into casual moments, hidden in timing too precise to be random. If you're not paying attention, you'll call it coincidence and move on, never realizing you just received the answer you were waiting for. What you call coincidence is life trying to remind you that you are guided, not abandoned. It's proof that there's a rhythm to your journey, that doors open and close for reasons, and that even delays are not without purpose. Confirmation doesn't always shout, sometimes it whispers through alignment. But for those awake enough to notice, it becomes fuel for faith, courage for the next step, and peace in the middle of uncertainty. The world may call it coincidence, but to a discerning heart, it is always confirmation. The sky above you is a mirror of the journey within you. When you look up, you're not just seeing clouds, stars, or shifting colors. You're seeing reflections of your own inner world. The stillness of a clear sky can echo seasons of peace within your spirit, while a storm gathering on the horizon can reflect the turbulence of unspoken battles in your heart. The sky doesn't just cover you, it speaks to you. It mirrors back what you are walking through, reminding you that the external world and the internal world are never as disconnected as they seem. A sunrise is more than the start of a new day. It is a reflection of fresh beginnings, second chances, and mercies renewed. A sunset is not just the close of daylight, but a mirror of release, a reminder that endings can be beautiful and necessary. The endless stretch of night sky, dotted with stars, mirrors the vastness of possibility when life feels uncertain. And when the heavens erupt with rare signs, an eclipse, a comet, an unusual glow, it is as if the universe is declaring that something within you is shifting too, calling you to take notice. This is why signs in the sky have always carried such weight. They are not random spectacles. They awaken something in us because they align with what we already sense deep inside. When you see the heavens stirred, you often feel the same stirring within your own soul. It may be a call to prepare, to let go, to embrace courage, or to remember that your story is unfolding with greater purpose than you can see right now. The sky reminds you that you are part of something vast, yet also deeply personal. Its patterns are not there just for science or beauty. They are there for reflection. Every storm that passes teaches you that pain is temporary. Every rainbow after rain whispers that promises still stand. Every vast horizon mirrors the truth that your journey is not confined but open, filled with possibility. The sky above you is not distant. It is a living mirror, reflecting your inner journey, calling you to live awake to both the signs above and the voice within. Sometimes the sign is not about the world changing. It's about you changing. We often look at signs in the sky or shifts around us and immediately think they must mean something grand, something global, something cosmic. And while that may be true at times, more often the sign is far more personal. It's not about history being rewritten, it's about your story being realigned. The sign is not there to inform the world, it is there to awaken you. A sign can look massive, yet its real power is in the quiet transformation it demands within you. It may not be telling you that everything outside is about to collapse. It may be telling you that something inside must rise. It may not be announcing that the end has come. It may be urging you to begin. Signs are mirrors, and sometimes what they reflect is not the state of the universe, but the state of your own heart. This is why two people can see the same sign and respond differently. One shrugs it off as coincidence, while the other feels it strike like lightning to their soul. The difference is not in the sign itself, but in what is shifting within them. The sign becomes personal when it pierces your excuses, when it disrupts your routine, when it calls you out of who you've been and into who you must become. When the sky changes, it's not always about predicting the future. It's often about preparing your future. The sign is not just saying, "Look what's coming." It's saying, "Look what must change in you before it comes." It's a gentle but urgent reminder that you cannot walk into the next season carrying the same distractions, fears, or compromises. So don't only look outward when you see a sign. Ask what it's trying to stir within. The world may or may not shift in that moment, but you must, because sometimes the sign is not a headline for nations. It is a whisper for your heart, calling you to transformation that begins long before the world even notices. When the sky speaks, it's not for tomorrow, it's for now. Signs are not delivered on delay. They are given in the present because they require present action. Too often we see something that stirs us, something that feels bigger than coincidence, and we say, "I'll think about it later," or maybe that means something for the future. But signs don't come to be shelved. They come to awaken you in the moment, because tomorrow is not guaranteed, and delay is the thief of transformation. The sky doesn't shift to entertain you. It shifts to awaken you. A rare alignment, an unexpected glow, a sudden storm breaking into calm. These aren't just events to record, they are messages to respond to. If you push them off as someday truths, you miss the urgency they carry. A sign is never casual, it's intentional. Its very timing is part of its meaning. If you saw it today, it's because you needed it today. Tomorrow feels safer, but tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves to justify hesitation. Waiting for a better time, a clearer signal, or more certainty only leaves you stuck while life keeps moving. Signs don't wait for your schedule. They break into your present to shake you awake. They are mercy disguised as disruption, not reminders for a far-off season. When the sky speaks, it's telling you to live differently right now, to realign your focus, to step into obedience, to let go of what you've been clinging to. It's not calling you to prepare for someday, it's calling you to act before someday never comes. The sign above you is not a prediction, it's a summons. It is life itself saying, "Don't drift another moment. Respond now, because now is all you truly have."